Hey everyone, in this video I've come up with an analogy to explain what Hulk meant by your past is now the future and your current future is now your past. So essentially what I'm trying to say is why killing baby Thanos doesn't make sense and why they had to get the stones in the first place. And the analogy that I'm trying to use here is that of a river and you trying to cross a river. Now there are some ground rules. So firstly, this is the river bank and that is the river bank and the middle lines are the river. Sorry for my crude drawing, if you can call it that. But yeah, so imagine you're here and this is the 2019 where half the population is gone and everybody's crying, and this is where the snap happened in this line. Okay, so the river is flowing from left to right, and the ground rules that I was talking about are that the river can only flow from left to right, and so must the person cannot flow from right to left. This is the one rule that determines this whole thing. So imagine you're a swimmer and you're trying to cross this river, so you can only move forward and rightwards. The best you can do is move straight upwards. Now why did they discredit Back to the Future? What they were trying to do using this river analogy was swim backwards into the river, give Biff the almanac or take it from him, I don't remember, and then come back here, or maybe I should go here, do whatever they did, and then come back here, and then the timeline is fixed. Another representation is go here, and then come back here and start a new timeline. And both of these don't make sense if you think about time as flowing in just one direction. Now, what has happened is imagine these are the Avengers, this Captain America and everybody, and Thanos has snapped here, everybody's sad here. Now, what they want to do is collect the stones. How do they collect the stones if they can move only forwards and rightwards? The key here is that all lines are similar but not exactly same. So if Thanos has snapped here in this line, Thanos has also snapped here in this line and at this point. So what I said was the swimmers can only move upwards and rightwards. So what these guys did was they went here to the Battle of New York. Then maybe Thanos has snapped here in this line, so they went here to Asgard. Then they went here to Morag, I don't remember. And what they did essentially was they came to a point on another line in another 2019, right? Now they snapped and they had the battle, and then this line was fixed. This brings up the question of what happened with Hulk and the Ancient One. The Ancient One said that he must return the stones to the appropriate places for the timelines to be proper and to not, I don't know, the world will collapse, something. What this means is that if we take the river analogy seriously and imagine that this is the truth, what he did was, and imagine this is incorrect, and imagine that all the important points in history appear on these lines. All the important ones, maybe not in sequence, but all on these lines. So, for example, the Battle of New York is here. Asgard, the Asgard sequence is here. Something else is here, and more importantly, the scene with Tony's father, and Captain America and whatnot. So they are all on this one line. And what they did was they went ahead. Some of them jumped here, some of them jumped here, some of them jumped here, and this point was the 2019 that they came to. And they had the battle finished all in a short while, and From there, Captain America jumped back to each place, gave back the stones, and then ended up on some timeline and then continued to live out his life. And these guys continued to live out their lives. Now, the only thing that doesn't make sense is the appearance of old Captain America, and to be honest, I don't think that is explainable, because the only way it would make sense is if he went back here and then lived out his life with Peggy. So I think something must have happened in between. So I'm going to ignore that part, and I hope this makes sense about the snaps occurring at different points in time, and the Avengers simply getting very lucky that all of these things aligned in one line. That's why I think they kept mentioning one shot, something like that. So this was very critical that it all lined up, because it's a bit contradictory when you think about, and the more plausible explanation is them going forward and then ending up on another 2019 and then going ahead here. But then if you take the river analogy seriously, Captain America can't go back, right? So the only way he can go back is if they are traveling vertically. So what they did was they traveled here, they had a battle here, and then America went here, and then maybe lived somewhere here. So I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching.